I think it was 2008, 2009. A friend of mine called me up and he was like, dude, you gotta listen to this band. They're called Death. They're really fucking good. And I'm thinking, oh, that metal band. Yeah, I know who they are. I'm not really into them. Sorry. He's like, no, 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 man. He goes, back in the 70s, there was these three black dudes. They were brothers and they were playing punk rock music before punk rock was even heard of. And he goes, yeah, man, I'll send you the link to this, man. You got to check this out. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm into a lot of obscure stuff, and I mean, usually I've heard of bands that other people have never even heard of, and I'm thinking, why didn't I hear about these guys? I'm usually digging into the rarest of the rare of rock and roll. A lot of garage and punk bands that were never you know heard of too much. So anyway, I go and I check it out, and the first song I hear is Keep It Knocking. And, ooh, okay. And, well, the album already came out by then, Death for the Whole World to See. And I'm listening to all these songs by this band, and I'm just like, I'm blown away. So I'm like emailing people and going to different social media websites. I'm like, oh man, you got to hear this band. I got excited myself. And I got to watch the video, a band called Death, and wow, I mean, this is heavy, 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 man. I mean, this is a very, very great band, and I'm thinking, why didn't these guys go to CBGBs and play? I mean, I'm sure Hilly Crystal would have booked them. I mean, he booked pretty much anybody with any name. That was the thing, was the name. These record companies didn't want to deal with them because of the name Death. Back then it was, things were a little different. I mean, that name there alone was just a big no-no. And they didn't get anywhere for like the longest time. Then finally one day they were playing their records, the 45 Politicians in My Eyes, at a party somewhere in California. And, it kind of caught on. And, now they're up and touring and playing. But yeah, man, I mean, for someone like me, just not hearing about this sooner, it just kind of blows my mind. I mean, great, awesome band. I mean, and it's a shame Dave Hackney, he was the guitar player. There was Dennis and Bobby too, but David, man, he's no longer with us, unfortunately. Um, he was the visionary behind the band, and I mean, if they would have got out and the Ramones would have heard them, or them cats over in England, just imagine how punk would have been, how it would have turned out. you know just wow. I'm still wild over them. Just listening to Politicians in My Eyes, especially that song there alone, man, is like wow. That heavy pounding and them riffs and everything, towards the end of that song is, I mean, like mosh pit worthy. But anyway, that's all I got to say about Death. I hope they come out my way sometime. I live near Pittsburgh, so it would be nice to see them like out here. Uh, if any members of Death are watching this, there's a place called Brandy's in Irwin, Pennsylvania. They'll book you. So get a hold of me.